It's now official. Former SAS soldier Oliver Schulz will be the first Australian in history to go on trial for a war crime. I've got to be completely honest, I don't know anything about the legal justice system, so I'm going to use this important trial to educate myself and hopefully simplify and demystify the justice system. The incident in question happened in Afghanistan in 2012. So the first thing I want to understand is how has it taken over 13 years to get this case to court? Here's the short history. There was an initial investigation by the Australian Defence Force which found that Afghan farmer Dad Mohammed was lawfully killed because he posed a direct threat to Australian soldiers and was holding a radio and tactically manoeuvring. Then in 2020, helmet cam footage of the incident was released by ABC Four Corners, which contradicted these initial findings. Pretty soon after that, Oliver Schulz was removed from active duty and Defence Minister Linda Reynolds referred the case to the Australian Federal Police. The Australian Federal Police then transferred the case to the Office of the Special Investigator, a government department tasked with addressing criminal matters raised in the Brereton Report. The Brereton Report is a highly redacted report that came out in November 2020 and found evidence of 39 murders of civilians and prisoners by members of the Australian Special Forces in Afghanistan between 2005 and 2016. In March 2023, Oliver Schulz was arrested, charged with murder and remanded in custody, but he very quickly asked to be released, saying that Muslim extremists might try to harm him in prison. He was granted his bail request by Magistrate Jennifer Atkinson and released from prison 8 days later. An initial committal hearing was held earlier this year in Sydney. A committal hearing is basically a little trial before the big trial. It tests if there's enough evidence for the case to proceed to a higher court. This Wednesday, August 20, 2025, local court magistrate Greg Grogan committed Oliver Schulz to officially stand trial for the war crime of murder. The trial starts in October this year. It'll be held at the New South Wales Supreme Court, and the first thing that will happen will be an arraignment. An arraignment is essentially the formal reading of charges and a plea of innocent or guilty. If Schulz pleads guilty, the judge will schedule a sentencing date. If he pleads not guilty, the judge will schedule a trial, often a few months in the future, and this trial could take months, maybe even years, before we get a verdict. It could be in front of a jury, or it could be closed to the public. This case is truly historic and globally important. Australia and its allies do not bring war crimes charges against their own soldiers, especially not in a civilian court. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on, hit subscribe and I'll try and bring you jargon-free, simple updates as the trial progresses.